12 songs. I need 12 songs for my game's demo. This is the part I've been dreading the most. You've seen me make pixel art. You've seen me program. You've seen me perform autofellatio. But this, for all intents and purposes, is my weakest discipline because it's my newest discipline. I'm Caidyn. I'm an indie dev. I'm making an RPG about a femboy divorcing a princess. This is the devlog. You're watching it. My program of choice is Favour Tracker. It uses the NES sound chip, which fits with my game's, whole retro theme. It's easy to use, and it's the one I'm most familiar with. Hang on, I'm getting a raging inspiration. Let me play it by ear. That's all I got. Moving on. I tried making an Overworld theme, and it's got this swing vibe to it, but it doesn't feel appropriate to the medieval setting. Now, I get it, you can do some wacky genre mixing, take older Final Fantasy and prog rock, but I don't know. Let's try this. Working. Too downtrodden. By the way, pardon me, I'm about to use some not at all academic or correct language to refer to some musical concepts. You've been warned. There are leitmotifs I can use here. Let's give this a quick remix. There we go. This simple loop is all I got for now. Man, my composition muscles are really weak. I can only go so far before I'm beat. And does this song sound familiar to anyone else? Is that just me? Is this from something? But back to the overworld. I can't just let this go. The most important song next to the battle theme and Justin RPG's Stuck in Lugia's Stomach.
Yes, I'm stuck in Lugia's stomach alone.
Okay, this one's closer, but it's not the emotion. On one hand, I got the emotion, but not the style. On the other, I got the style, but not the emotion. Also, I'm gonna use this one for a later story moment, okay? Not all effort has to be wasted. Come on, Inspiration Fairy, I need myself a juicy nug. Hang on, let me try this. This is the vibe. This melody. I just have to harness it. But I just don't know what to do with it. What if I tried to model it after the Alefgard theme a little? What would that sound like? Alefgard was pretty minimalistic and fairly low-key. So my theme would probably sound something like this. Okay, it's not too bad. Also, every time I manage to get harmonies or counter melodies right, I consider that a miracle. I don't understand fifths and perfect sevenths and linear pairs of angles. It all goes over my head. Also, the triangle instrument has no volume control. It's either on or off. If I want to modulate that, I'll have to export that channel separately and mix it in a different program. And again, this song that seems to have come out of nowhere, it sounds like I've heard it before. Am I sure this isn't from something else? But you know what? Alefgard Theme in later versions had a movement added onto it. Even when the original movement repeated, it had added instrumentation so that it didn't sound too repetitive. Well, my Alefgard theme is going to do that too, so ha! You know, oddly enough, Dragon Quest III's Overworld theme sounds a lot like the theme for the Force. John Williams' song for the opening text crawl is similar to another piece of music. What's it called again? I'm really out of gas at this point, but at the same time, I feel like I have momentum. Game plan. I'll model my music a little after Koichi Sugiyama's music. Instead of copying the music or riffing on it, I'll look at the overall structure that he used and use that as a template or a prompt. Let's try this with the battle theme. In a lot of the battle themes for Dragon Quest, the first movement usually has like this call and response, suck and fuck sort of momentum to it. Then the second movement's usually like this point of high tension. Then after the second movement comes the third movement, which is sort of bouncy and a little more freeform than the first movement. One more bridge and you're back to the beginning. So here's what I got. Wait, hang on. Have I heard that before? Yeah, I have. That's the Shinra president. But that theme's melody is, all it's doing is climbing up a scale, which sort of reminds me of Battle with Magus, which simply climbs down a scale. Can someone own a scale of notes? Can you claim the cadence that they're played at? This second movement, it's meant to sound like a bit of Dragon Quest I's battle theme, you know, that has that rising note. Is there such a thing as a new melody? What's the precedent here? What is originality? Did you know that my Monster Designs video was hit with a copyright claim for a song, and when I traced it back to the video, the issuer of the copyright claim didn't even own the song either. What they did was they took a sample from the song that I used, and the automatic content ID system tagged my video as copying from them. This rabbit hole can go deeper, I promise. Ain't it something? B-rap stands for... What the hell am I saying? So I guess it's clear right now that my insecurity mainly lies in the size of my bass and percussion. As a average and basic melody and counter melody enjoyer, sometimes I simply use the bass line and percussion to enhance the melody, which means I don't have much going on, maybe playing the same rhythm and the same note over and over again. I wonder if any bass and percussion enthusiasts feel neglected. Maybe the one band kid feels lucky that they get to play quarter notes for the majority of the song. I don't know. Am I about to make their life hell? So I tried to spruce up the battle theme some. You may have even noticed there's a couple measures where I simply didn't include a percussion line. Does it sound fine without it? Let me know. Also, did you know that pianos technically count as a percussion instrument? I've been making these notes on my keyboard. Is my keyboard a percussion instrument? I mean, you end up striking the keys on both. Should we be less judgmental of people who smash their keyboards like it's an infant's ribcage? Let me know. Put your answer down in the comments, and while you're at it, like and subscribe. And maybe share a little bit. Share the love. The battle theme is a little too intense to be like a regular battle theme. So it's being promoted to boss theme. Hooray! Still a win. The game has bosses. Another silver lining here is that Dragon Quest games, the one with battle themes and boss themes, usually borrow a few ideas from each other. So it's not like I'll be composing this from scratch either. Like if you look at Dragon Quest VIII, the boss theme and battle theme are pretty much... Oh, hang on. That's a structure I can use. Okay, so in this battle theme, it also starts with like a call and response, but I think instead of a build-up and breakdown, it's a bunch of reinforcers, I guess, to the first call. Then that first measure sort of plays with that structure a little bit. Then it goes into something dramatic. The last movement then gives a satisfying resolution by playing on the tension. After many, many hours, I have something that's sort of similar. A build-up with a reinforcer. Second movement, instead of sounding dramatic, it's more hopeful. It's bouncy. I didn't want to keep up the tension with something that's meant to be lighthearted. This part was meant to come right after the first movement, but it worked much better here. Then this part is supposed to call back to the beginning. It's meant to be a little quieter. then this part makes for an ear cleanser because looping right back to the beginning after that measure just wasn't working. It's a little silly, which I think works for the game's sense of absurdity. What am I in the mood for? Let me get a title theme. Ha ha ha. For some reason, every time I think of the title theme, I always imagine something like This Horizon from Knuckles Chaotix. So I came up with this melody. It's got a bit of funk to it. I just need an intro that's like the fanfare for Dragon Quest, and then pull the rug out from under the listener with this sick jam. Your Honor, I'd like to plead guilty to all the head injuries caused by people banging out to this fucking jam. I'm going to pull a musical idea from the battle theme. This part. After a little bit, I think I have something. The hardest part for this one is that because it's so damn funky, it uses a lot of dysfunctional harmony. I think I'm a little too young for that to start happening to me already. Same with dementia. Have I heard this before? How do I know I don't have a bad case of cryptomnesia? I mean, I know I sort of modeled the idea after This Horizon, like from an existing song, sure, but like, this also sounds like something else. What do I do? How do I know? Now for the dungeon themes. Oddly enough, 2 of the 3 dungeon themes sort of just came to me. They just sort of appeared out of nowhere, like they were already written, ready for me to key them into the computer. Well, the first movements anyway. I really tried to make more progress on this one. I think it works because it's dissonant, but I do want it to resolve, but nothing's coming to me. I think what's really getting my goat is that I'm used to starting with melody and then building everything around that, but for these 2, I started with either the bass or the percussion. Or I started with the counter melody. I learned my lesson from my programming video and decided it's probably time to go to bed. 5 minutes after my head hit the pillow, I had an idea. Autofellatio. No more running away. I decided I would open up another window and try to find the resolution I was looking for by playing with the song on a clean slate. This, for some reason, gave me the mental space to play with the song and finally find what I was looking for. Anyway, I got them finished. I just need one more. One more dungeon theme and I can call this finito. For this theme, I gave up. I decided I was going to look for direct inspiration. Luckily, Final Fantasy's 3, 4, 5, and 6 have hiking themes, which is sort of the vibe I'm going for with this dungeon theme. They tend to take place in open areas like a canyon or a swamp level. Even the Mother series has some music that I can draw from, like Approaching Mount Itoi from Mother 1. What I need is the percussion and the bass to have a steady, marchy feel to them. And yeah, the tone is coming out pretty serious this time, but you know, Dragon Quest has some intense theme. Just because something's a comedy or lighthearted or cozy doesn't mean it can't be played straight. Imagine some absurd stuff happening while a serious theme is playing. The juxtaposition it's chef's kiss, to be frank. And so that's my first studio album. Isn't that a nice resolution? Nope, no underlying issue that... Guys, please let me know if I'm nothing but a filthy plagiarist. I put up a private playlist of all the music for the demo so far, which you can access from the description, and I want you to take a listen and let me know if I'm a hack! Also, next video I'll be putting together the Steam page.